So what we're going to do here is we're going to talk about what's called curve fitting. And we've done this with lines. And you've done a linear regression problem where you have a bunch of different points and you find the line of best fit. Not everything is linear, so that means we find all these different points. It might represent a quadratic function. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through how to actually create a quadratic model or quadratic regression on our calculator. Okay, so on the right side of the screen, you'll see that we have the calculator instructions. Step 1 is in red, and I've just highlighted step 2 is in blue. And so you can go ahead and write these down. And what we have here is our data set. And we'll talk about how to enter it. And then there's an image of what we get on our screen just to confirm that you're doing it correctly. And I'll actually go through the process on the left-hand side with our calculator. So in order to enter the data on the calculator, we need to hit the Stat button, which is pretty close to your cursor buttons. You'll see where I have it. So I hit the Stat button, and then I want to hit Edit. So Edit is what's pre-selected, so I hit Enter. And I have a list that's already in here. So if I arrow up, hit Clear, and arrow down, okay, so I arrowed up, hit Clear, arrowed down, it cleared that whole list. So now I can re-enter it. L1 is our X's and L2 is our Y's. So I'm going to go ahead and enter 25, hit Enter, 50, hit Enter, 75, hit Enter, 100, 125, hit Enter, 150, 175. Now you have to be careful that when you do this, that every X value is matched up with a Y value, or else you're going to get an error on your calculator. So if you see some word that says error mismatched, go back and check your data. So now we're going to put the corresponding Y values. So 25 was matched with 150, 50 was matched with 178, 75 was matched with 216, so on and so forth. So I'm just going to enter that information. And I enter everything. So now that my data is entered in my calculator, I go to step 2 right here, which says use the quadratic regression feature to find the quadratic model. So on the calculator, I'm going to hit Stat again, and then I'm going to arrow over to Calc, so I move the cursor to the right, and I want to look for quadratic regression, which is number 5, so I can hit the number 5. Now, some calculators vary. If you have an older version, it's just going to say quadratic regression on the display, you hit Enter. The majority of you will have a calculator that shows something similar to this. X list is my L1, my Y list is L2, the frequency list and the store regression equation, we don't have to worry about that right now. So I'm just going to arrow down to calculate and hit Enter. And the only thing that is missing is this R squared piece, which we don't have to worry about. So we only are concerned with what we do in our class with A, B, and C. And so we have our leading coefficient, we have our linear term, and we have our y-intercept. And you can see in the PowerPoint notes, we can put that as our quadratic. And that's how we can use a data table that we can create a quadratic equation using these data points. And it's the same as the line of best fit that you've seen with linear equation.